Welcome, horror enthusiasts, to a spine-chilling journey into the dark, mysterious world of Creepypasta. Today, we're going to be delving deep into the haunting tales from back in the early days, mostly 2014 and onwards, exploring the enigmatic backstories that have etched these characters into the annals of internet horror history. Prepare to be captivated as we unveil the mysteries behind the iconic cast of Creepypasta. Our first character is none other than Jeff the Killer. We'll unearth the origins of this elusive killer, exploring the twisted events that lead to his nightmarish transformation, from his hauntingly pale visage to the haunting tales that surround him. Jeff still remains a central figure in Creepypasta lore, so without further ado, let's dive right in. In this story, a teenager named Jeffrey Woods, who has just recently moved into a new town with his family, is on his way to school with his younger brother, or older brother, it really depends on which version of a story you read, when they are suddenly attacked by a group of bullies armed with pocket knives. Because of course, why wouldn't you let your 14-year-old child run around with knives? Jeff defends himself and his brother, leaving the assailants lying in the street, beaten, broken. After his brother claims that he injured the bullies and is arrested, Jeff spends several days distraught, before going to a birthday party in the neighborhood, where he is again attacked by the bullies, now armed with guns. Seriously, where the hell are these children getting these weapons? Although Jeff manages to kill all of the assailants, he is severely burned during the confrontation after being set on fire. During his stay at the hospital, Jeff snaps, realizing finally that he enjoys hurting people, and goes insane. You know, as you do. The night after he is discharged from hospital, Jeff performs an act known as a Glasgow smile, or a smiley, a $1.50, or a Cheshire grin. It's a wound caused by making 2 cuts on either side of the victim's mouth, up to the ears, leaving a scar in the shape of a smile. This act is usually performed with a utility knife or a piece of broken glass. Of course, Jeff didn't go all the way to the ears, but he still messed his face up pretty badly. He also cuts off his eyelids, or burns them off. Again, it depends on which version of a story you read, so that he'll be able to look at his beautiful face forever. Now Jeff, look, I'm sorry, this is probably gonna sound really mean, but like, this does not look good on you. I'm so sorry. You kind of look like a... what's the... Heath Ledger's Joker ripoff. He then murders his parents and brother, whispering his now infamous line, "Go to sleep," while killing his brother. After his origin, he becomes a serial killer that breaks into houses at night and whispers "go to sleep" before murdering his victims. The legend of Jeff the Killer can be traced back as far as 2007 to a YouTube video posted by Darky Knight. Links will be in the description. Jeff, despite being one of the most popular, has had the least amount of non-written adaptations out of all the characters in this video. He's barely been in any good video games. He kind of just gets shoved into a whole bunch of crappy mobile games, and that's kind of it. However, he has had one good video game adaptation, and that's in Jeff the Killer. Yeah, riveting title, I know. Before you say anything, yes, I know it's a mobile game, but please, can we just let him have this one? He kinda deserves it. Anyway, in this game, you get kidnapped by Jeff while you're asleep, and you wake up in what seems to be some sort of abandoned house. Now once you find a way to escape the basement of this abandoned house, Jeff will wander the halls searching for you, while you try to find keys and such to escape. It is a very similar escape game, gameplay style, comparative to, say for example, the Granny trilogy, or the Evil Nun duology, or the second chapter of the full release of Hello Neighbor. We don't talk about that one. Outside of this one good mobile game appearance, he hasn't really had any other. Anyway, let's move on to a character that has a little more media exposure, shall we?
Slender Man, the epitome of airy elegance, looms large in the pantheon of creepypasta. We'll delve into the mysterious origins of the faceless entity, examining the stories that gave rise to its unsettling presence. From the haunting woods to the airy tendrils of lore, Slender Man's influence reaches far and wide. The Slender Man was created on June 10, 2009, on a thread in the Something Awful internet forum. The thread was a Photoshop contest in which users were challenged to create paranormal images. Forum poster Eric Knudsen, under the pseudonym Victor Surge, contributed 2 black and white images of a group of children, to which he added a tall, thin, spectral figure wearing a black suit. Although previous entries had consisted solely of photographs, Surge supplemented his submission with snatches of text, supposedly from witnesses, describing the abductions of the groups of children and giving the character the name, the Slender Man. Knudsen was inspired to create the Slender Man primarily by Zach Parsons' The Insidious Beast, Stephen King's The Mist, reports of Shadow People, Mothman, and the Mad Gasser of Mattoon. Other inspirations for the character were the tall man from the 1979 film Phantasm, H.P. Lovecraft, the serious work of William S. Burroughs, and many aspects of the survival horror video game franchise Silent Hill and Resident Evil, respectively. Knudsen's intention was to formulate something whose motivations would barely be comprehended, which caused unease and terror in the general population. In the original story, a young woman about early 20s wakes up in the middle of the night and decides to make some coffee. Wait, doesn't coffee wake you up? So she makes herself some coffee, a strange feeling that someone is at the door. She makes her way to the door and looks through the peephole. She sees none other than her suit-wearing, child-snatching buddy old pal Slender Man. She tries to escape, causing her to spill hot coffee all over herself. As she makes her way down the hallway, she tripped and hits her head, knocking herself unconscious. We cut to her in the hospital, as her sister overhears the doctors making some brutal notes on what happened to her, while she spots a figure out the window, which is strange since they're on the 2nd floor. Slender Man has also had many appearances in other genres aside from writings, such as the very popular YouTube footage series Marble Hornets. The link to that will be in the description, so please check out Aiden_makes_stuff's 2-part retrospective series on Marble Hornets. It's really good. The 2018 movie that was really bad, and his multiple video game appearances in games such as Slender, The 8 Pages, Slender, The Arrival, Project Slender, and Slender Man Has to Die series. Links to these titles minus the movie will be in the description. Anyway, let's go on to the next character.
Eyeless Jack, the creature born of nightmares, takes center stage in our next chapter. Uncover the gruesome details of his origins and the terrifying encounters that have left a lasting mark on the creepypasta enthusiasts. In the original story, a man named Mitch moves in with his brother Edwin after his house is foreclosed. A week later, Mitch wakes up with a large gash on his cheek. After going to the hospital, the doctor revealed that Mitch's left kidney had been surgically removed overnight. Around midnight that night, Mitch wakes to see Eyeless Jack over his bed, wearing a blue mask with black liquid dripping from empty eye sockets behind the mask. Mitch manages to grab his camera and take a picture before Jack attacks, clawing at his chest. Mitch escapes and flees into the woods, where he trips and is knocked unconscious. When Mitch awakens in the hospital, it is revealed to him that Edwin had been killed the previous night. His parents drove him to the house to collect his belongings. When he enters, Mitch sees Edwin's corpse with a small object laying next to it. He observes it to find that it is his kidney with a bite taken out of it, covered in a black substance. There are many different origins for this character. For example, one where he is born from a cult, one where he is a teenager with eye problems that eats kidneys and it makes his eyesight better. Then he runs out and goes insane and starts killing people and eating their kidneys, starting with his mother. This one is very quick gloss over of that story, so if you want more info on that particular origin for Jack, then it'll be down in the description, along with a few other videos. It's such within the realm of creepypasta, so if you're interested, click those and check it out. Anyways, let's continue.
venturing into the digital abyss, we encounter Ben Drowned, a haunting presence within the world of gaming creepypastas. Join us as we navigate the eerie glitches and unsettling stories of this character. From haunted cartridges to ghostly apparitions, the stories of Ben Drowned transcend the pixels of our screens. Ben Drowned, originally published as a Haunted Majora's Mask cartridge, is a 3-part multimedia alternate reality game web serial and web series created by Alexander D. Hall, originating under the name Indelible. Originating as a creepypasta based on the 2000 action-adventure game The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, and published by Hall from 2010 to 2020, with a hiatus in between. The series is known for creating many of the common tropes and themes of modern-day creepypastas, and for subverting themes of the Legend of Zelda series. The series concluded on October 31st, 2020. Serving as Hall's first project, the first arc of the series, titled Haunted Cartridge, was released in 2010. It follows college sophomore Indelible, who, after acquiring a haunted Nintendo 64 cartridge of Majora's Mask, is plagued over the course of a single week by presence of a seemingly omnipotent artificial intelligence called Ben. The second arc, titled Moon Children, and taking place from late 2010 to early 2011, follows the public emergence of a mysterious cult known as the Moon Children, who worshipped the moon by way of human sacrifice, or in their words, ascension. The third arc, titled Awakening, began in March 2020, following new and returning characters who have become involved in multiple events over the current year. This arc introduced new scenarios detailing the aftermath of an in-universe event in 2018 that caused the collapse of civilized society, as well as continuing stories established in the previous arcs with the intent of tying them together. The series is one of the most popular web serials on the internet, with a viewership in the millions, and has been widely recognized as both an example of modern urban legend and a major influence in helping to establish and legitimize creepypasta as a literal genre, creating many of the recognizable tropes that are now seen in modern internet horror today.
In my opinion, I think what makes these characters so iconic is just the way that they've impacted so many people all around the globe. Due to the rise in popularity of creepypastas, say for example, like Slender Man, Jeff the Killer, like all the people we mentioned in this video, there are so many people who took those concepts or took those characters and did their own thing with them. Some people have made some amazing short films, some amazing AMVs, and overall I think that's why these characters are still so well known today. In the end, I think that's why these characters are so iconic. I just want to say a big thank you to all the guests who joined me in today's video. And a big thank you to you, dear viewer, for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell to never miss a new upload. Also, please let me know your favorite creepypasta character down in the comments below. Stay tuned for more horror-related content, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. But until then, may your nightmares be both vivid and unforgettable. Peace.